Yes, that's what's a highlight of Nigeria tells in the last March the 13th of the Nigerian Women's Football League against Nasarawa Amazons. You got the first video against Bayelsa Queens, and then the second game was against Nasarawa Amazons at the Lafia Township Stadium, where they went in favor of Nasarawa Amazons, and it has been a good one for the Nigerian Women's Football League. On that note, I welcome you to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel. We have a whole lot on the show this morning. Let's start with table tennis, where Aruna Quadri, our own African number 2 man right now, no longer number 1, because South Egypt is now ranked number 1 in Africa, but he's still holding his own when it comes to table tennis in the world. And just of recent, a few days back, he returned to number 19th in the latest ITTF ranking, and gradually, definitely, we know he's going to climb up the ladder. But it wasn't a good one after his first victory at the ITTF, that is International Table Tennis Federation Championship 2024, where Aruna Quadri won his first game, but in his second game he lost out, and he has cried foul over his ouster at the event going on in China. It's a big one for Aruna Quadri. Before this time around, we know what happened with the ITTF, where he was sanctioned, a monetary sanction, and some points were deducted from his ranking points, and he actually came out and said yes, he's being punished because he's a Nigerian and African, because he didn't attend the 2 international championship, and was being punished for that. And he said he actually took permission, he gave reasons why he pulled out of those tournaments. One was the abdominal issue he had, that he couldn't join the Nigerian team for that championship, and later on he came down for the African Games, where he lost the single men's final. But he has crashed out of the ITTF World Cup championship going on right now in China. So though he won his first game, then the second game he couldn't get that win. Well, let's see how it goes, and for Aruna Quadri, let's see how the year will pan out and end for Aruna Quadri. Let's leave that story quickly, and let's go straight to the glass house, that is the NFF, where the Minister of Sports, Senator John Owaneno, has actually come out to give reasons why the new Super Eagles coach has not been unveiled. And he said that one of the reasons he gave was that they are trying not to make the same mistake where we made in 2022, we couldn't qualify for the Qatar World Cup 2022. So the technical committee is trying to actually avoid such mistakes and other mistakes regarding selecting a coach for the Super Eagles. I'll bring on Isaac Omidiji quickly from Bida in Niger State to look at this. Isaac, welcome to 3 City Sports on Trust TV. Quickly, the minister has actually give reasons why the new Super Eagles coach has not really been unveiled, because Nigerian has been waiting for weeks right now to know the next Super Eagles coach. We just have a month to the World Cup qualifier against South Africa and the Skurres of Benin Republic.
Good morning, Emmanuel. Thank you for having me on 3 City Sports that beautiful Friday morning. But for the minister, that is what he was told. And I believe that he will not just take that or hook and line and sinker. Because if you look at the process of recruiting the managers, you will know that it is even faulty on its own. Now, we don't know where the NFF is panning to. Some are panning towards indigenous coach, some are panning towards the executive members, some are panning towards the foreign coach. And if allegedly what has been a shortlist is what is the real shortlist by the NFF, then we are going the same way where we will not qualify for the World Cup. Except one person is there that I believe can do the job, if truly the list is true. So the NFF have been doing, this recruitment look as if it's shielded in secrecy. We don't know the processes, we don't know the criteria, we don't know what they're looking at. And till now, it's unfortunate that we don't still have a coach. We should have gotten a coach immediately after the African Cup of Nations. Either you continue with Jose Peserio or you have another coach in place. But look at how long it is taking us to get a new coach. That is already a sign of failure. Don't forget that we've only gotten just 2 points in the World Cup qualifiers. And we still have difficult games to play in these same World Cup qualifiers. So we don't need to joke with it. It's something we should take very seriously. The minister just reflected what he was told. I believe that he will not just believe that, and he will try and monitor that the NFF does the right thing and not go and bring another journeyman or a failure or someone who has not achieved anything before to be the coach of the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles is a big brand, international brand that should attract the best. We have wonderful players, so what we need now is a coach that can complement the talents of the players we have and get us good reward for the hard work and talent that we have in the Super Eagles presently.
Okay, all right. Taking us to the next story, still on the Super Eagles coach. Yes, just yesterday, the meeting was held at the Glass House here in Abuja. That is at the National Stadium. If you go there, that meeting started around 11 a.m. and in climax 6 p.m. in the evening. 3 names has been shortlisted for the Super Eagles coach. One other name was withheld, though anonymously the person actually didn't want to give the third name. But 2 names that ring a bell among the 3 short man list is our own Emmanuel Amunike, who won the AFCON in 1994 and then the Atlanta Olympic gold 1996. The name is there, and one other name that rings bell is the coach that won the Nations Cup with Zambia in 2012. You know him already. He's with the female blue team as we speak. That is Herve Rernard. Is one name that rings the bell. And in that meeting yesterday, we have Victor Ikpeba, former Super Eagles player, and co, who were in that meeting from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. But these 3 names has been shortlisted. I've just given out 2. Isaac, from these 2 names, Emmanuel Amunike and Herve Rernard, we know Herve Rernard is with the French female team, women's team right now. So let's just look at these 2 coaches, these 2 names I mentioned. Are they the best we can get for the Super Eagles?
Definitely one of the best. And if you ask me, for a long time, I have clamored for Herve Rernard. If he is willing to leave his role as the coach of the French women national team and ready to come and live in Nigeria and concentrate on developing Nigerian football, I will support Herve Rernard wholeheartedly. He's the most experienced, more experienced than Emmanuel Amunike. He has even achieved more than Emmanuel Amunike. He has been to so many African countries and understands African football. That's the most important thing. When Zambia won the Nations Cup in 2012, who gave them a chance? And this guy has done it elsewhere. So we should look at quality, we should look at people who have pedigree, and we shouldn't allow emotions this time around. No, emotions shouldn't becloud our sense of reasoning. Let us give it to the right person with the right experience, with the right pedigree. And I believe Rernard is there. Who says Rernard cannot work with Emmanuel and Amunike? These are two good guys. Two good guys. If you're looking at inward, looking at Nigerian coaches, I think I've done for Emmanuel and Amunike. But if you place this 2 by 2, I mean these two side by side, I'll go for Rernard.
Okay, you go for Herve Rernard. Let's see how it goes. That responsibility is saddled with the NFF technical committee after they came up with 3 names. Like I said, that meeting started 11 a.m. and it ended at 6 p.m. Yesterday. So 3 names have come up. Probably by next week we should be. Well, let's see when that's. I'm not the NFF technical committee. They still have to put some modalities in place, put some consideration, and know who to name as the Super Eagles coach. All right, let's leave that story and come back home and still stay at home. We are still at home. Let's look at these. Also yesterday at the Glass House, the 2024 FA Cup draw actually took place, and we have the teams who will be representing the various state FAs in the oldest competition in Nigeria. Bendel Insurance is the defending champion, and they are going to start their campaign against Stormers SC. But let's look at the full draw. We have the men's and women's draw. But let's look at the men's draw. 64 teams to participate. After the first round of games, they will now streamline to 32. From 32, they will now go to the next stage. We'll just run over it quickly. Bendel Insurance of Edo State against Stormers SC of Ogun State. Wiki Tourist versus JR Daburan of Katsina. Osun United of Osun State against EFCC of Abuja. EFCC is representing the Federal Capital Territory in the round of 64 for the men's draw. Edel FC Anambra will take on Discovery Talent FC of Kebbi Zamfara United against ABS Kwara. Kebbi United against Inner Stars. We have Inner Stars of Edo State. So 2 teams from Edo are in the competition. Akwa United of Akwa Ibom will take on Sinosho FC Ebonyi. Mighty Jets of Plateau will play Zamfara Feeders of Zamfara State. Gombe United against Karim United of Taraba. Let's go to the second side of it. Because it's more. We have 64. We have Ikorodu Lobby Stars of Benue, Delta Marine, Shooting Stars, Solution Ikorodu City against Green Berets, Coal City against Ekiti United, Beyond Limits take on Hamola International of Osun State, Inter Lagos against Mayfran, Cross River Warri Wolves of Delta against Lauti FC of Jigawa, Kwara United will take on Rovers FC of Calabar, and then we have Abia Warriors against Ilaje FC of Oyo, Sporting Supreme FC of Abuja against PCM FC Ebonyi, Nasarawa United will play FC Bako Kogi, Sokoto United will take on Ofrima FC of Rivers State. So it's a whole lot in the men's draw. We have FC1 Rocket of Akwa Ibom, FC Burja of Imo. We have Enyiba take on Warinje FC of Bauchi. Plateau United will play Ekiti United. We have Sunshine Stars of Ondo against Jedo Academy of Sokoto. Rivers United will play Ikokuma of FC of Imo State. Niger Tornadoes against Niger Feeders. Katsina United will take on Duse Strikers. We have Bayelsa United against FC Basira of Nasarawa, and then we have Doma United Gombe against Gamji Eaglets. Taraba and Kano Pillars will play Rangers International. I think that's the biggest one, the toughest game in the men's round of 64. And then in the women's draw, quickly, let's have that of the women. The women will just go straight to the round of 32. They will not play the round of 64. They qualify straight to the round of 32. Bayelsa Queens against Bright Future Queens, Nasarawa Amazons, Suit the Queens, or your Danas Lady of Lagos against Mighty Jets, Mata Plateau. Remo Stars Ladies will take on Osek Lins Rivers. Abia Angels against Castamong Ladies of Ogun. Nigeria FCT On against On Youth Academy of FCT. Heartland Queens against Golden Sun FC. Bayelsa FC Robo Queens of Lagos against Onimang FC of Ondo. Kwara Ladies against Ahudia Nem Queens of Abia. We have Delta Queens, Fortress Ladies, Edo Queens, Sunshine Queens of Ondo against Greenfoot FC Enugu. Plateau United Ladies will take on Honey Badgers of Benue. We have Gallant FC of Kaduna against Osun Babes of Osun State, Conference Queens of Kogi against Delta Ladies, and then we have Edo Queens against Kada Queens of Kaduna, and Ekiti Queens will play Rivers Angels. That is another big one in the women's draw. Isaac, a whole lot will go down in the round of 64 for the men's FA Cup, but the biggest one is between Kano Pillars and Rangers International of Enugu. And then for the ladies, Ekiti Queens, who is also playing the Nigerian Women's Football League, will take on another team, Rivers Angels, who is also playing in the Nigerian Women's Football League. So the big one will be happening in the round of 64 and the round of 32 for the FA Cup, the oldest cup in Nigeria.
Formerly known as Challenge Cup, and we know that a lot of unseeded teams, let me use the language, a lot of unknown teams will spring surprises at this stage of the competition, even up to the semi-final stage. But I'm worried. Why would Niger Tornadoes be drawn against Niger Tornadoes feeders? I don't know how that particular draw happens, that the Tornadoes will be drawing its own feeder team in the draw of round of 64. Not that a draw that is limited. This draw is huge. I expect that any one of them will have played different club sides from different parts of the country. But that's what the draw says. For Ekiti Queens and Rivers Angels, it will be a cracker, and most of the cracker we will see will be the game between Kano Pillars, as you said, against Rangers International. Remember, Rangers International are currently flying high in the Nigerian Premier Football League, and Kano Pillars are still trying to find their feet where they think they should be. So it will be a great one. But don't be surprised, the form of the NFL, NPFL don't always translate into the form of the FA Cup.
Yes.
History have shown that. And we are out to see a lot of surprises when this ends. You see a lot of the big teams, crashing out of this round of 64.
Okay, a lot of big teams crashing out. Now let's go straight to Europe. Actions in the second and the third tier of the European Cup competition, the Europa League and then the Conference League. Let's quickly have the result, and then when we have the result, we'll look at the pairings before Isaac will react to it. Let's start with the Europa League quarterfinal second leg result, where Liverpool beat Atlanta Bergamo of Italy 1-0, and it ended 3-1 on aggregate in favor of Atlanta. Marseille and Benfica played a 1-0 in favor of Marseille. At the end of the day, it was 2-2 on aggregate, but Marseille won 4-2 on penalties. Roma beat AC Milan 2-1. Both legs, they defeated AC Milan in San Siro, and then at home they also beat AC Milan 2-1 yesterday, an aggregate 3-1, and for Roma went through on 3-1 aggregate. Then West Ham United and the most informed team in Europe, their history continue. They've not lost any game. That is the 43rd game for Bayer Leverkusen will start losing. It was 1-1 against West Ham United on aggregate. Bayer Leverkusen went through 3-1 on aggregate. Fantastic fun for Victor Boniface, Nathan Teller, and Frimpong in that team alongside Xabi Alonso. Now let's go to the third tier of the European Cup competition. Let's look at the semi-final pairing. Roma will take on Bayer Leverkusen, while Marseille will play Atlanta. Also in the Europa Conference League, we have the pairings. Fiorentina will play Club Brugge, and Aston Villa will tackle Olympiacos. Aston Villa also won their own game via penalties, where Martinez. Isaac, quickly, the Europa League for Bayer Leverkusen, they continued their history. It was a very good game against West Ham yesterday night, and for Victor Boniface, who was a handful for West Ham defense, though he was not the goal scorer, but they continue their history in Europe this season. They have not lost any game, and yesterday night was looking like see if they were going to lose, but they level up things. Now they are into the semi-final of the Europa League.
The spirit in that team is unique. The character in that team is strong. I was thinking that after winning the Bundesliga, they will be complacent and probably they will withdraw some of their strength and sit back and watch. But no, apart from a few minutes in the first half where they didn't do well in the game against West Ham, they came back strongly in the second half and they dictated the pace of the game. And you know that this is a team that should be playing even the Champions League. They are so compact, so disciplined, so technically sound, except for some few altercations there during the game where we saw players to players, we saw coaches to coaches, even to the extent that they got red carded. The game was a free-flowing one, and they maintained that record of not losing a game yet this season. Let's see how far they can go. They are playing Roma in the semi-finals. Emmanuel, you know that Roma is a this competition.
Yeah,
I hope Liverpool will be able
Isaac,
to overcome
I
that.
think that is where we are going to leave it. Thanks for joining me on the show all the way from Bida. It's a good one, and congratulations to all of the team that make it to the semi-final of the Europa and Conference League alongside the Champions League. All right, that is it on the program this morning. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.